Okay, let's talk about this. Never thought I'd be visiting Monstercat so soon outside of my annual videos, but here we are. If you kept up with Monstercat, you'll know that early in the year, they changed their release schedule, where instead of 2 Uncaged songs, 2 Instinct, and 2 Silk songs per week, there would be 3 Uncaged, 1 Instinct, and 1 Silk song per week. Darlington explained why they made these changes, and on paper, this doesn't sound terrible. Uncaged gets more releases because of how it's the bread and butter of the community, and both Silk and Instinct will get more marketing recognition, which explains why there's been an influx of Silk and Instinct songs on Rocket League, as well as trying to put more effort into the songwriting and production. Basically, it's a quality over quantity type of situation. Except for the case of Instinct, I got the sinking feeling that when they meant quality, they meant how well it's produced and literally nothing else. And with the coming months, my worst concerns stared right back at me. And while there have been a few times where that quality over quantity rule shines, and I'll admit June and July were fairly decent months that made me believe Instinct was going somewhere, once August hit and Arm & Hammer's Together as One album released, it was back to the deep house and tech house stuff that you've heard over 1,000 times this year on this label. So maybe there might be some melody line or sound design to keep things interesting, right? Like Eula's EP or Without You by Offski. But no, most of the songs have an identical feel to them that they just blend together. It's the same identical snare, the same bass line, and it just gets so tedious after a while. Let's do a comparison, shall we? During the past 2 weeks, you have Foxilla's No Rules and Just Kidding's Reign to Love, which I had already played. Now let's take a look at what Uncaged released during that time. Now tell me which set of songs is more interesting, the ones on Instinct or the ones on Uncaged. And the problem gets worse when you factor in Silk, because Silk gets the same amount of singles as Instinct does. So to make this fair, let's see what Silk released this past month or so. Would you leave me here? I don't know about you, but I'd rather listen to any one of those songs than what we've gotten these past 2 weeks on Instinct. And no, I have no hopes that the No Mana single is going to change the sublabel next week. It will most likely be an exception rather than the norm before going back to the usual house stuff. Unfortunately, I have a feeling I know how we got here. See, Punctual's Do It All Again was a massive hit for Monstercat. It cracked the EDM Billboard charts. From the EDM radio stations, it was played quite frequently, and it got up to 50 million views on Spotify. So most likely, Darlington saw this success and is trying so hard to replicate it. And look, there's going to be an audience for this kind of stuff, and from a business standpoint, I get it. Most of these songs that I've played aren't bad by any means. Heck, I'll admit, I did enjoy some of these house tunes like Never Let You Down, Riot, and the newest single, The One You Call, that was a good tune, even if technically it's not deep house and more progressive house. But when it feels like every single song sounds identical, and when all of the creativity, whether it be through the melodies and sound design, feel lost, that's a problem. Especially when I've heard Instinct be a lot better than this. And it sucks, given that the sublabel is what got me into Monstercat in the first place. I'm not trying to use this video to bash on the Monstercat sublabel, because I'm not insane, but I've noticed this trend and I'm not liking how it's going. And that's really all I have to say. What are your thoughts on Monstercat Instinct recently? What are some of your favorite Instinct tunes that came out after the new schedule change? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. Now it's time for me to go back to my film-related content again. My Like Slay Quickie reviews should be next, so stay tuned for that. But until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you all soon.